This is Connor Super Goofy, and I'm a little bit pissed off right now. Um, so, um, I recently, released, I recently decided to re-release my debut album, Alpha, with, a couple new tracks. And so these tracks aren't exactly new. They are, so these tracks aren't exactly new. They've been around for a while. In fact, the two tracks that were added to the track list of Alpha are the remix of Virus that Miss Bose recorded, which I don't even know that did make the album's original track list back in 2022, and I don't know why I took it off the album when I moved it over to BandLab, but I did, and that ended up not being on the version that ended up on streaming services, so I put that back on there. But I also, but I also added the very first track that I had ever recorded, which was a track called "You Have Been Hacked," which was recorded way back in December of 2020. It was basically my first rap before my rap career really took off in high school. This was back in it was recorded back in middle school, and it's basically the second verse of "Thank You for Nothing" off my debut album. Um, but recorded in the middle of a mosh pit with um a bunch of guys recording, and everybody goes crazy at the end. So, yeah, I decided to add those two tracks onto the track list, which, quite frankly, should have been on the track list to begin with. Um, so I decided to reissue the album, and the original Alpha, has disappeared from streaming services. It's been removed, and it has not yet been replaced. The new version of the album has not yet arrived, and I was like, throughout all of last night and this morning, I was like, man, this album is taking a while, and um, I now have the reason why, and a new development took place surrounding the re-release, involving the album, while I was eating lunch at the elementary school with my brother and sister. I got an email saying that the re-release was rejected. Now, I've had now I've never had a release be rejected before by the year that I've been distributing my music to streaming services. I've not once had an entire single or album be rejected. This is the first time, and the issue was the artwork. So this on the screen right now is the original artwork for Alpha. It's been that way since 2022. I've grown used to that artwork, and unfortunately, it will no longer be the artwork for Alpha. It's going to have to change in order for the re-release to go back on streaming services, which it sucks. It sucks. It's the the cover for my most beloved one of my most beloved albums in my catalog, my debut album. Everyone who knows me knows that album, and I have never ever had to change the artwork for one of my albums since it has been released. Ever. I have never had to do that. And I don't intend on changing any of my other album covers, but let me pull this up real quick. Um, so here's the hold on a second. Um, hold on a second. Here is the email. Here's the email that it got rejected. Let me zoom in a little bit. We've been notified that the artwork you selected for Alpha has been rejected by stores. Additional detail, stores require that artwork is 100% original and not trademarked, available online or stock photography, even if altered. I think that's what got the album cover. And so back in the early days, I would just rip images from the internet, and that's obviously something that I probably shouldn't have done. And um, but here's the thing that makes this not make sense: is why would it be accepted the first time? Why why would it be accepted the first time if that's the issue with it? Because obviously it just doesn't make any sense for me. And I'm starting to wonder whether maybe there's some sort of glitch or something weird that happened in the system, because if there is some sort of weird error that happened that caused it to be rejected, which is certainly a possibility if the cover was accepted the first time, but not now, um, then if there was an error, then that might mean that I might not be able to get my debut album back on streaming services if the artwork is going to keep getting rejected. So here's the new cover. Here's the new cover that I chose for the re-release, and it's going to be the cover from now on. I'm not gonna try to change. I might try and change it back actually, but it might get rejected again. Um, but here's this is the it's the new cover. It's Phoebe Weeby. It's the picture of Phoebe Weeby, and I think it looks pretty good. And yeah, it's already the cover's already been changed on SoundCloud, by the way. Go look at the alpha release on SoundCloud. It already has the new cover. Um, and yeah, pretty weird. And honestly, I'm wondering if I ever should have re-released alpha at all. But yeah, I think it's a good idea to have these two tracks on the track list. For Life After Graduation, when I did the re-release with the solo versions, that didn't necessarily make sense for the album, um, because it like Feel Power was like the designated ending for that album. It wasn't really supposed to have any more tracks on it. But for Alpha, I think it makes sense because these are the two songs that I recorded. These are two songs I recorded from during or before the Alpha era, by the way. These aren't just songs that I recorded now that I decided to slap on the end of the track list. If I did that, then I would put it on a new album. But um yeah, these are old songs that have existed for a while that I think actually would fit on the track list in the way that I decided to fit them on the track list here. So I thought it was so I think it makes sense to have these two songs on the track list, whereas it doesn't for Life After Graduation. But yeah, that's just a weird situation, honestly making me kind of angry. And it sucks that the that an album cover that I've had for almost 4 years at this point is going to have to change. But yeah, that's just the way it went. So that's about it. See ya.